Hey, I'm very excited about this one today, so I hope you have your headsets on because this is going to get very interesting. So I'm in the booth today, so I hope you have your headset on. This is my recording booth, a WhisperRoom. It's about 48 inches by 48 inches, and it has 4 inches of Owens Corning 704, I think that's what it was, soundproofing inside. So none of the outside is coming in here, and there's no echo. It's a relatively quiet space. So you're hearing right now the Neumann TLM-103. Now this microphone, the way it's configured with the shock mount and whatnot, is about $1,300. Now I'm going to switch over, in post-production you'll hear this, to my brand new microphone, which is why I'm excited today. This one right here. This is, it says on here, the TZ audio products, which TechZone audio products. The model is Stellar X2. Stellar X2. Remember that name. This is a brand new company, and they have a really ambitious goal. The reason, now first of all, this microphone's under $200. The Stellar X2. You're hearing it right now. And I'm going to stop talking for a moment. And of course, the purpose of this video is for me to talk so you can hear the quality of the recording. But I want you to hear the sound of silence. And this silence is inside of my WhisperRoom, so it's really quiet in the booth. In fact, the only sound you may hear is the rustling of my shirt. Or even the sound of my breathing. So what you're hearing is the Stellar X2. One of the hallmarks of their target, the Neumann, in this case this is the Neumann TLM-103, is how quiet the microphone is. The self-noise, how quiet it is in terms of when you're not talking, it having a hiss or a buzz. This microphone is notorious for having almost none. Okay, so here's the story. Stellar X2 from TechZone Audio Products. That's the microphone you're hearing me speak right now. They have essentially tried to mimic the build and build quality of not only the Neumann TLM-103, but its older and more expensive version, the U87. Now, I don't have the money to buy a U87. So this was my closest match. Now, the point is, why do some microphones cost a fortune and others are very inexpensive? Switching back to the Stellar. Normally, for example, certain microphones could be very inexpensive if they're just pushed out on a production line in high volume. But the Neumann, back to the Neumann, is handmade. Individual pieces are put together and the metal parts are ground to a certain tolerance. Everything is essentially hand-built, hand-tested. All the circuitry is hand-soldered, so forth. Somehow, TechZone Audio Products, the Stellar X2, they set out to do likewise. But somehow, I don't know how, but I'm getting very similar quality here. And they're building this with the same level of precision. I mean, they are meticulous about the way they're building these. Again, to extreme standards, the hand-built capsule precision to the micromillimeters, etc. That's what makes a microphone very expensive. Now, I don't know how they're able to pull this off. You're listening right now to the Stellar X2. And by the way, for point of record, I'm recording this on a Zoom H6. The gain on the Stellar is actually a little lower than, it's around a 4 out of 10. Whereas the gain on the Neumann for similar volume levels is around a 5. So they're similar, but I wanted to get the gains relatively the same. The Zoom H6 is recording the audio. The video, because I'm in a small booth, is being recorded on a GoPro Hero 8, the newest version. So I'm not sure how good the video portion of this is going, especially since it's hard to light a booth up properly. Anyhow, this is the Stellar X2. What do you think? When I listen to this while in the booth, it sounds really, really good. And it's hard to believe that it's so inexpensive. So I'm going to do some more head-to-head comparisons. If you haven't already done so, you may want to tune in and subscribe, hit the bell, all that other nice stuff. Because I'm going to put this microphone against some Sennheisers, the MKH416, for example, some perennial favorites, the Shure SM7B, etc. I'm really going to put this thing through some paces. I'm going to also record another video where I'm going to test these microphones in a noisier environment to see how that fares. For example, outside the booth, switching back to the Neumann. So that would be something you might want to tune in to see, because one of the things about a microphone is you got to fit it to the environment and to the person and to the purpose. Right now, my purpose for this particular microphone is for these microphones is voice work, audio books, etc., like things like that. So anyhow, I'm rambling on, but it's also giving you hopefully a chance to hear both microphones. Right now, I'm going to point to the one that I'm going to switch to in post-production. That's the sound of silence from a Neumann TLM-103, $1,300 the way it's configured. And let's do the same thing with the Stellar. Now, normally when I do this in my booth, when I have my headset on, I hear the hiss because it's in the booth. It's combining the audio channels for both. And in post-production, I can hear them independently. But one thing I could tell you is I don't hear any noise. And when I play either channel back, it's virtually silent in the background, which is fantastic. So that's my first impression. I literally just got this today. I'm going to dive into this a little deeper. There are no settings turned on right now, by the way. I'm not compressing, I'm not tweaking, I'm not playing with EQ. It's the native sound, the Stellar X2. Well, that's the end of another great video. Or at least, maybe it wasn't great. Maybe it was pretty good. And if it wasn't really pretty good, it was probably good enough to say it's worth a subscribe and a thumbs up and a comment. And when you subscribe, don't forget to hit the little bell. You know, you want to do that so you get notified. But if you subscribe, I promise you, some of my videos won't suck. The TechZone Stella X2. Remember that name, Stella X2 from TechZone Products. This is a brand new microphone from a brand new microphone company. Now, these guys are obsessed with perfection, and they are hand building these microphones. Now, at the moment, this microphone is very hard to get. In fact, I was told when I ordered this that there were only about 6 of them made for production. And I made it a point of telling them I wanted to order one. I didn't get it for free. I bought this microphone. The reason I'm interested in this microphone is I heard about it from watching a video from Booth Junkie, who had a booth at one point like this. Now he's got a better booth. Anyhow, this particular microphone is under $200. It's called the Stella X2 from a company called TechZone Products, or TechZone Audio Products. What the heck is the name of them? I can't get it right. Yes, it is. Okay, start over.